Everyone, I hope you're all having a great day. I just wanted to do something a little bit different here and talk about Game Builder Garage. This is a game that I just got today. It's for the Nintendo Switch, and it's kind of an easy programming game. Sorry if I sound a little bit tired. I've actually been up pretty late tonight playing this game. So yeah, if I sound a little bit off, that's pretty much why. Now I know I don't cover a lot of modern games, but this one just kinda struck a chord with me. It reminds me a lot of RPG Maker on the PlayStation a while ago, except for this one is a lot more accessible for somebody like me who doesn't know anything about programming. So yeah, this game reminded me a lot of when I got RPG Maker for the PlayStation back in the day, except for this one is a lot easier to understand. I learned pretty early on, kind of early on, that I had absolutely no programming skills whatsoever. So when RPG Maker came out, I thought that would be a really cool thing to try out. It didn't, it just did not work out at all. And now when this is out, or this came out, this just seems like it's a lot more fun and it's a lot easier to get into. So as you can see, you use those little guys, which are called nodons, to create your character and then input your controls or map your controls out. And you can also have them be destructible, movable, that sort of thing. So if you run into objects, you can break them, or you can have them blow your character up, as we'll see later on. So this is one part of the tutorial, and I'm not going to go through all of the games that they have you make. There's 6 in total, but I just kind of wanted to cover this one first. This is a simple game of tag. You have one player who is supposed to be the tagger, and then you have another one that is the runner. And you also have basically some hazards. A bunch of balls will fly off the screen, and they can blow up either character. It's a really fun and simple concept, and it's pretty easy to put together. Granted, this is the tutorial, and they do just kind of walk you through it, but it's really nice to just get you started so you kind of know what you're doing. After the first game was done, they do let you just jump right into a bunch of other stuff, but I kind of wanted to go through all 6 games just to learn what they all were. Like I said, I'm probably not going to do videos on all 6, but if I come across one that I think is kind of interesting, or is closer to like the type of game I kind of want to make with this, then I'll probably show that off. So yeah, everything here was pretty easy to understand. It's easy to get started, easy to put the thing together. Everything in this is just very simple, and it's great for someone like me who doesn't quite understand, all the programming languages, or doesn't have the time to really go out and learn them all, or just learn 1 or 2 of them. It kind of takes a relatively daunting task and boils it down to something pretty simple that anybody can really understand. So it has you do just a little bit of each level at a time, or each game at a time, which is nice, so it doesn't just throw you into the deep end and say, here, do everything all at once. It might do that later on, but at least for this first game, it didn't really care too much. You have 2 people, or 2 things that are kind of showing you through this. You have Bob, he's the weird little blue ball that flies around. And then you have Alice, she's the sort of whitish pink ball that's going to fly around and talk to you in between some of the steps. Or at least in between some of the games. It's a kind of nice way of doing it, so you have your actual game that you set up with Bob, and then Alice kind of gives you some puzzles to do in between each games to sort of test your knowledge on what you did. But yeah, just overall, this brought so many just kind of fun memories back of me trying to figure out how to do programming. and failing miserably at it, but it was still kind of fun to try. So, yeah, I programmed this little game. You have your little red guy who runs into the blue dude and he'll explode. And you also have a bunch of balls that are going to fly down on either the left or the right side of the screen, or both at the same time. Now, when the balls hit your players, either one, they will blow up, or they'll blow up when they come in contact with each other. I'm actually controlling both players right now because of how I had it mapped. I have the controls mapped to each Joy-Con. So, yeah, it is kind of weird to play a two-player game as just one person, but, you know, it still worked out a little bit. And here's your development screen. You can see all the little inputs that I put in, the game screen that I set up, all the different objects that are in there. I don't know why they had you set the walls up so high, but, you know, whatever. It's kind of cool to see it laid out this way, and you can kind of tell where each thing went and what input was going to what. It was kind of cool to see it laid out like this because it made more sense to me looking at this instead of looking at like a block of code or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. You throw your inputs up on this little screen and then you jump over to the game screen to see how everything worked out. And if it didn't, you go ahead and try and troubleshoot everything. So yeah, I'll probably do another one of these just later on, maybe next week or something like that. So yeah, have a great day, everybody.